Dear friends, on this 15th Sunday in ordinary time, you see, we speak of the commandment of love in action. In today's gospel, a scholar of the law poses a question to Jesus. What must I do to inherit the eternal life? This is a question that echoes through every age, every heart that longs for meaning, for salvation, for communion with God. That is the question that each and every one of us seek answer to. But Jesus responds not with a new teaching, but by pointing back to what is already written. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and your neighbor as yourself. The scholar seeking clarity or perhaps a loophole went further to ask, and who is my neighbor? Jesus, being a patient teacher, answers not with a definition, but with a story. The story of the man on the way that was beaten, stripped, and left for the dead. Two religious leaders passed by, probably didn't want to inconvenience themselves or were in choke of time trying to meet their religious obligations, which in human logic is a good excuse. But it is a Samaritan, an outsider, one despised by the Jews, who stops, tends to the man's wounds, and ensures his care. This parable, my dear friends, is not merely a moral lesson. It is a mirror. It reveals the heart of the gospel, that love is not abstract. It is embodied. It crosses boundaries. It breaks barriers. It is something that costs us something. It's not just an imaginative experience, it is a reality in action. So there are three invitations from the gospel. Today, the gospel invites us to see with compassion. The priest and the Levite saw the man but passed by. The Samaritan saw the man and was moved with compassion. True Christians, love, true Christian love begins with seeing, but not just glancing, but beholding the suffering of others as our own, empathetic. The second is the redefinition of neighbor. Jesus expands the definition of neighbor beyond tribe, religion, class, status, familiarity. Our neighbor is not just the one who looks like us, speaks like us, believes what we believe. It is anyone in need in whom God has placed on our path. That is who our neighbor is. And lastly, my dear friends, in a world frustrated, we are invited to act beyond convenience. In a world fractured by division, in a world fractured by comfort, we are invited to go beyond convenience. Our Christian calling is not like the fast food. It demands commitment and sacrifice. The Samaritan interrupts his journey, risks his safety, and spends his resources. Love is not convenient. It demands that we step out of our comfort zone even when it costs us something. So in times of, especially now, that we are fractured racially, politically, economically, this gospel is a sermon to radical mercy. It challenges us to ask, who have I passed by today? Whose pain have I ignored today? Where is God inviting me to stop and step out from my comfort zone. It is an invitation for us to become a church, not just a closed circles, but of open roads where compassion becomes not a theory, but a way of life. I enjoy you to join me today and praying that may the Eucharist we receive today strengthen us to go and do likewise, to love not only in word but in deed, to see Christ in the wounded, and to become neighbors in the image of the Good Samaritan. Have a beautiful Sunday.